What's up, Keller Williams? How's everybody doing today? Peter, how are you?
I think I'm doing good.
Trying to compose ourselves.
A little hot.
We
hot.
We were having some fun as we were getting started here. So it's always a good time here with your favorite American and favorite Brit in the Keller Williams system. I'm totally making that up. I don't know. You know, we'd like to think that we're your favorites of something.
It's believable. It's believable. We'll go with it.
All right, so we have an awesome show today. This is episode 5 of MCTTs Unleashed. And we're talking about something that is on the top of a lot of people's minds. Maybe not real estate agents, but that's what we're here to change today.
Definitely
right?
ought to be.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about ChatGPT today.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are a real estate agent that hasn't discovered ChatGPT yet, you are missing out because it is an amazing tool.
And it's not a shiny object.
It is not. It is here to stay, isn't it?
We have come across so many shiny objects in the last few years. You take a look at it and then it disappears and it comes and goes. Or you just think, well, this would be really great, and it doesn't get adopted.
Right.
ChatGPT is already being used, not by enough real estate agents, but it's being used in so many fields, and it's not only here to stay. I mean, there's version 4 around the corner, so it's and it was just upgraded a couple of days ago, yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
So it's a powerful way to save time. The first time I've seen a product that can do that. I mean,
so
really does.
You're absolutely right. And here's what I love about ChatGPT, and I did a video about this on my other channel. And when we're in the real estate industry and we're looking at, like Peter said, bright, shiny objects, right? Bright, shiny objects should mean nothing to you unless they save you time or money.
Yeah.
And in this case, ChatGPT does both.
Absolutely.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Saves time and money.
Yeah.
Time because it's literally spitting out things that in seconds that would take you hours, if not days, to tackle. And money because you, as a moderately performing agent, certainly top performing agents, you're probably going to leverage the stuff that ChatGPT does by hiring an assistant, a virtual assistant, whatever. So it's actually leveraging both of those for you, time and money, saving both of those for you in your real estate business.
Yeah, and the fact is that content costs money.
Yeah,
because it takes time to create it, or you've got to pay someone to create it. You've got things like YouTube scripts, which would need a photographer and a videographer who would know how to construct a presentation on video.
Yep.
This thing gives you the camera angles. I mean, it's ridiculously brilliant.
Absolutely. And that right there that you just mentioned, we are going to talk about that today. That's something that I've been focusing on a lot with ChatGPT. And before the upgrade from version 3 to 4, I think it was, about maybe 3 weeks ago, when I asked for a YouTube script, it was actually giving me the script.
That's right.
And then just a couple of weeks ago, I asked for the same YouTube script, word for word, same thing. And now it's giving me camera angles, shots, like how to compose the video.
I think we're on ChatGPT 3 still, and 4's on its way. And then there's been various,
So it was an upgrade about a month ago.
One on the 9th of January. And then I noticed after the 30th that it started to give extra information in those video guidelines.
So this one would have been that update after the 9th of January.
Yeah.
For me.
But there's multiple uses. We're going to talk about video. We're going to talk about blogging, content creation for Facebook posts and social media. And then in particular, the one that I'm kind of most impressed by is the way it does descriptions for homes, for listings. So
that's the big one right there, because I'll tell you, as a practicing agent, this is going to be my 20th year as a practicing agent. And one of my pet peeves is when I come across an MLS listing, especially when it's a high dollar list price.
Yeah.
And there's 2 or 3 lines.
Yeah. And it says SS apps 3BD 2CG, CBS.
Yeah. So it's giving me the stuff that I'm going to get in the details anyway, so I like it to be more of an experience.
What's it like to live there?
Visualize it, right? And so I normally take hours, like I said, hours, if not days. This is going to save you because I will certainly take hours to write out the property description for my listings. And your mind is going to be blown today
it's
with
awesome.
what Peter's going to show you on that. So let's jump into our cultural segment. We are on the perspective of the MVVBP today. And that is a technology company that provides the real estate platform that our agents, buyers, and sellers prefer. Keller Williams thinks like a top producer, acts like a trainer consultant, and focuses all its activities on service, productivity, and profitability. How does that show up in the office for you?
Well, in some areas, I think we're very strong on it overall. I think adoption of technology in certain our market centers has been phenomenal. The agents are using the systems and they're doing it. I think overall though, there's still some ambition left in the goal. You know, we're still forming how we work with technology, rather, because the way I look at technology is it's an integral part of every function in real estate.
Right.
Whereas I still think a lot of people look at technology as a separate tool that does something that I don't need, but I might like to use. But I think we've moved way past that. And especially with things like ChatGPT, is the power of AI being integrated into these tools going forward. We're talking a industrial revolution level of change in the way we work. So I think the fact that Keller Williams has stuck to being a technology company, has its own platform, hasn't abandoned the mission and gone in and bought in third-party services where you have no control over your data. There's privacy issues all over the place. What happens when an agent wants to go from one brokerage to another? What happens to your data? Where is it? With Keller Williams, it's all predefined, safe, locked down. You can import and export your contacts. You're free to look after your information. But the one thing you do know is there isn't some other company farming your data in the background, which you just don't know with external companies. So I think the fact that Keller Williams very recently restated this perspective publicly, so that it is and remains a technology
with what
company
you
first.
said about not abandoning the technology, we ultimately have Gary Keller to thank for that, because it's ultimately his decision
and money.
Yep, absolutely, his personal funds. And we have the new KW Tech leadership to thank for helping Gary to see that we're onto something here and that it shouldn't be abandoned.
Exactly.
So, you know, I think that's awesome.
I think it goes back into the 201 Plus Club as well. Is that's given a new wave of enthusiasm as to why you should have a database, in other words, command, and why you want to grow it to that 201 Met contacts and then grow from there up to 1,000, because it's proven that the money is in it. So as it says there, service, productivity, and profitability. And it you know, these tools that we have and these systems that we have check all three without a doubt, particularly profitability.
Absolutely.
So I think that we're definitely, as an organization, really following this perspective very, very well. I just think we need to stop thinking of technology as being new, because it's been around for 25 years now. And the internet has been around since 92, 93, when it first started getting, you know, popular and 20 million users. I was funny enough, you know, I'll go on YouTube and watch these videos. I watched one called Tomorrow's World that was predicting the future of the internet back in like 1991. And it was really interesting. They had copper wire then, and there was no, you know, you couldn't run video through the internet. There was just pictures slowly downloading. And I'm thinking, people actually want to use this. And it was really hard and really difficult to use. Now we've got, you know, on-demand video, TV, anytime we want, two-way, like we're doing now. We're transmitting a podcast with the video, and the power of it is just incredible. Then the next stage, as the door opens, which is where AI comes in, it's really going to change the way we work, because you're going to request that the computer performs a task for you rather than doing it for yourself. And it's going to be verbal, and you're going to say, right, I want to write an outline for a video, and I want it to do this, 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 and this. I want it to incorporate. It's called prompt engineering. It's where you're telling the system what you want out of it and in what style. So we're going to cover that.
Peter's going to talk to us about that. And what I love about what you just said, and I've never really thought about it in those terms. So when we look at our perspective here, real estate by far is a technology industry at this point, right? If you're not at least I mean, you have to embrace it. Like, you can't even get your feet wet with it now. Like, you literally have to embrace technology to be successful in the real estate industry in 2023 and beyond. But with what you just said, the technology is getting so advanced that the people who don't really like to use the computers because they fumble with keyboards and mice and all that, we're about this far away from just being able to tell, like, verbally tell the computer what we want.
If you remember on Star Trek, which is, you know, Picard, now he was named after a French inventor of some kind. I watched a program the other day, and it had Jean-Luc Picard, the actual real person in it. But he would just say, computer, do X.
Right.
You know, set the engines to this, set navigation to that. And we're there anyway, because even Siri and Alexa are appallingly bad. Really are appallingly bad. When you then compare that to ChatGPT, if they put the voice, which has been done, there's plugins available for Google Chrome now to speak to ChatGPT. So you can just speak the instruction.
Yeah.
So we're within the course of this year, multiple applications like Microsoft Office, you know, the actual operating system, Windows or whatever you're using, will be a verbal instruction that you can give to a machine and say, write me this, reply to this email, include these points. So our productivity level is going to go up so much, because the system will take the heavy lift of the burden of actually having to write everything out.
Yeah.
We'll still have to review it. It's still full of errors. There was one, Wolfram, he has a very highly fact-checked search engine for universities and the education system. And he said to ChatGPT, write a story about the blue wolf. Well, the ChatGPT got a bit carried away with itself. It said there is a blue wolf in the Tibetan prairies that has a blue hue to its fur that's made the same way that blue butterflies have their blue coloring. It's the same, and it was highlighting this.
Right.
It's complete BS. There is no such animal. But it was such a convincing article. He said he believed it. He was thinking, well, there must be a blue wolf somewhere. So we've got to remember that this is a next word prediction tool. All it is a massive terabytes library of everything that's ever been on the internet, with about, I think there's 500,000 books that it's scanned and have sent into it. And with all that data, it predicts what should be the next word based on the last 5 or 6 words. It's just a single word it's predicting each time, but it gives the impression of intelligence. And the thing is, it probably means that's how we create sentences. We think of the last thing we just said, and then what's going to be the next most likely word out of 5 or 10 possibilities. Right. And that's how we actually create thought. So is AI actually thinking now? You know, it appears to be. Right. Because when you say to it, which we're going to say, describe this property in this location. It has this number of beds and baths, and it has a lake view, a 2-car garage. You know, we put in the facts. It then writes a very, very warm toned description.
You can picture it.
That almost feels like
very visual.
That ChatGPT has been in the home.
Yeah.
It's uncannily clever. It really is.
Yeah.
So we should use it to our advantage to have better written communications for our customers, making things, you know, and I did a couple last night. I was checking it, and I said, write it in the tone of an expert real estate agent, but include all regulations and advertising standards. And it wrote it in a slightly different style.
Really?
Yeah, but it's saying like this home could be sold already. Right. So we put that in. It's subject to being rented or sold. So you might be reading this, and it's out on the internet, but the property's already gone, which can happen, right?
Yeah.
So I just think overall we're going to be 2023 is going to see a massive change in the way we use technology. And I don't think it'll be very far behind 2023, 2024 that CRMs start to integrate this type of tech. Yeah. So that the follow-up emails are personally written based on the email received by the client. Yeah. It's going to be very, very strange.
Yeah.
But good.
So you said something a few minutes ago that as you were looking at me, I was grinning ear to ear. And it's because I got this visual when you were talking about how we'll be able to talk to the computer and have it, do what we ask it to do.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here thinking about the agents and just people in general that we know that struggle with technology, and they tend to scream and yell and use expletives at their computer, and now it's going to start talking back.
Yeah, it's just saying, speak to me like that again, and I'll be shutting down your hard drive.
That's right. Oh, that's awesome. All right, so let's look at what we're talking about today. Our objective is to learn how ChatGPT can be used in your real estate business. And the benefits are to save time writing listing property descriptions, save time and money filming and scripting your own YouTube videos. The reason I say save time and money specifically about the YouTube videos, because really for the property descriptions, it's probably saving some money there too, because time is money in this business for sure.
Let's face it.
But in regards to the YouTube videos, is because of the new update now actually giving you the shots to put the video together, not just the script for the voice track, right? So it's basically saving you time. I am not an advocate for not using professional photographers, but to use them in a video to just do a walkthrough or like even just an intro to an open house, right? Because that's one of the things I've been playing with in ChatGPT is a YouTube video script for walking through an open house and announcing the open house that day or upcoming or whatever. You won't have to pay $300 or whatever a videographer charges for that, because it's actually going to give you your shot list, which is amazing.
So all this technology is not going to replace the skills of a good photographer and videographer. They make magic, and their editing of the actual photographs to include like a really nice clear view of the view of the outside the property through a window from the inside of the property, that they use techniques to do that. Lighting, the way they frame a photograph makes a huge difference. So we're not even on that journey. We're not trying to replace the people that we work with. What we're saying is, for the short quick videos where you walk in holding your iPhone in front of you and you do, I'm at an open house, right, we can make that 10 times better for free.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. So ways to utilize ChatGPT in your real estate business. We're going to be talking about a few of these, not all of them, but I just wanted to put a list together. So for those of you that aren't familiar with ChatGPT or can't quite get your head around how you might use it, here's a list for you. So writing listing property descriptions, which we've talked about, and Peter's going to get into in detail. Writing YouTube video scripts, which I'm going to show you. Writing blog posts for top restaurants in your area. Peter and I have both played around with that, and it is unbelievable how that works. Writing an article about the benefits of staging a home for sale. I've done that one as well, and I was floored at the results. It's amazing. And then getting accurate. Now, this is the one that I haven't messed with that Peter has. Getting accurate code for building custom pages on KW consumer website. The reason I threw that in there is just so that you can think about where this is leading. That's something that's happening right now. We're not going to get into that level of detail because it's advanced.
A quick example is when we're creating a page on our KW websites, because our KW website is a blog.
Yeah,
you can put graphics on it, video on it. There's all sorts of things we can do, through the landing pages, and then on the internal pages on your website, you'll come across. You're looking at it, you go, it doesn't look right. I've got a picture in, I've got text. The text is on the left, the picture's on the right. It's kind of all weird. And what you can do is copy the code from that page into ChatGPT and say, rewrite this code to center everything.
Yes. And that's awesome.
You press a button and it says, use this code. You copy it back into the website, and lo and behold, it's fixed.
Yeah.
And it's just a little extra that comes along with ChatGPT. And I just thought it saved me hours of trying to decipher what the solution was. I'm going to a forum, or going to KW Answers and waiting for a day and a half for a resolution. I just literally copied. I didn't know it could do it. I just copied and pasted it in, said fix this, and it's like, what's this stuff you're putting in? It's like, we need to have this spruced up a bit, and then it just rewrote the whole thing, copied it back, and off we went. So I mean, that's a little advanced for talking about in a podcast, because you really have to get into demoing it.
Sure, it's advanced.
But it's there.
but we'll probably get to that in future episodes. And we just always want to bring a practical application of what we talk about back to Command and how it can be utilized. So for those of you that are advanced and are pretty tech savvy, give it a shot.
Yep. So what we're going to do next, we're going to get ChatGPT open and do the listing descriptions. Do you want to do it that way?
Yes, that's exactly
in
what
the order of your sheet.
So let's get back here, and I'm going to share my screen. Make sure I got the right tab up. We're going to jump in here.
I have to say, running this, we use this program called StreamYard, and it's brilliant. But it'd be very easy for us to sit and talk for 20 minutes and not have the screen showing. It's
exactly.
You've got to really drive it.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to jump into ChatGPT, and we're just going to double check.
Yep, there we go.
We are good.
Right. So do you want me to talk about how to log in? And
I would like to actually set up the account.
Yeah, just real quick.
Yeah, just touch on it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get out just because I want to be able to be in it, right?
Yeah, because it's so popular in the world right now that ChatGPT on a morning is generally not available.
Right.
When Europe and America are both open for business in the mornings, by the time we get to 1, 2 o'clock, the Europeans are going, down the bar and
going to the pub.
Night. Right? Yeah, that's holiday. So they're not on it. So
because Americans don't drink at all.
No, really. By comparison, not really.
Really? That's crazy.
you have to see what they. No, never mind. My heritage is Irish, and all I can tell you is, yeah.
I went to Ireland. I told you a little bit about this. I went to Ireland when I was 14, and I was, I may have gotten a meat or two because all you have to do is be able to see over the bar.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. If you can hold the drink, you can have it.
That's right. Okay. So moving right along.
There you go, baby. Right. So ChatGPT is at
chat.open. It's chat.open.
AI.com. Yeah, chat.openai.com. You sign in using your Google account, so you can use your Keller Williams account to sign in, or any Gmail. And once you signed in, the reason it wants you to sign in is because it remembers every conversation you've had with it, and you can actually personalize the output of ChatGPT. So what we're going to start with is a new conversation.
Yep. So we're going to go to a new chat, which I'm in.
Yep, great. And we're going to program it. So this is what's the new term for 2023 is prompt engineering.
I love that.
And what that means is engineering the prompt that we give to ChatGPT so that it gives us the correct output.
Being intentional and purposeful about what it is, how you're requesting, so that, like you said, you get the result you're looking for.
So when you're using ChatGPT this way, you do it by words. There is another way into ChatGPT which uses like a sandbox, which is where you set the settings for variants and all that kind of, but that's really advanced. For this purpose, we're going to instruct it using English language about how we want it to respond to us.
So question, my English or your English?
Oh, here's the problem. Do you even speak English?
Well, so here's the beautiful, I almost made a wisecrack about this before, but since I brought it up now, the cool thing about this is we're just typing it in. So ChatGPT doesn't have to figure out what a garage is.
A garage. Right? A garage. Right. So I'm going to dictate this to my friend here, Brett. So it's write a real estate property description with 1,500 words. And we're going to put full stop.
So does that mean period?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay.
Space, then write in the style of an expert real estate agent. New sentence. Make the copy compelling with a call to action to request a showing of the home. Okay, new sentence. So this is the prompt. So what we're doing is we're basically saying to it, we want you to be a professional real estate agent, and we want you to write in a compelling style and have a call to action. So we're basically saying what we're envisaging the output's going to look like.
Yep.
We're only going to put in a few words, but we're going to get 1,500 words out. So we have to give it some clues.
Right.
So the new sentences: the property is located in Port Charlotte, Florida. Comma, include highlights of the benefits of living in Port Charlotte.
I've lived here all my life. Are there benefits?
There are.
Okay, just double checking.
As a newcomer to the town, I still noticed it. All right, so we've done that, and then a new sentence.
Yep.
So what we're going to do now is we're just going to tell it the facts, because it can't write a description of the home without some facts.
Right,
so,
we got to give it the bedrooms, the baths, all that stuff. Right?
This single level property has 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. New sentence. There is a lake view from the rear of the home. There's a 2-car garage. New sentence, sorry.
It's okay.
2-car garage.
Okay.
With off-street parking. New sentence, we're nearly done. The property has been improved with new quartz kitchen countertops. New luxury vinyl flooring in the living areas.
Okay.
And then the final thing is the bathrooms have been upgraded with new countertops. I put and sinks. Now we might, when we get this output from this, we can always change it. Right, so send that and let's see what we get back.
Okay. So my first thought is we already wrote more than most people write for their description.
Well, we haven't though, right?
No, I know, because it's not really written.
Yeah, what we're doing is we're saying what's the style we want it to write in. Talk about the area. Now you'd think, how does this thing, whatever AI it is, how does it know about what's going on in Port Charlotte? But it does.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So here we go. We're gonna hit enter and watch the magic happen. And we're off. So I'm going to narrate as this is happening.
I think you should.
Okay.
It writes faster than you can speak.
I can't even keep up.
Yeah.
Welcome to this beautiful single level property in Port Charlotte, Florida, a place where sun, sand, and water come together to provide you with the ultimate Floridian lifestyle. This stunning home boasts 3 spacious bedrooms and 2 updated bathrooms, providing ample living space for you and your family. As you approach the home, you'll be impressed by the well-manicured lawn and attractive curb appeal. Stepping inside, you're greeted by a bright and airy open concept living area, complete with new luxury vinyl flooring that adds both durability and beauty to the space. The renovated kitchen features sleek quartz countertops, modern cabinetry, and plenty of counter space, making it the perfect place to whip up your favorite meals. One of the highlights of this property is the stunning lake view from the rear of the home. Imagine waking? How about imagine waking up each morning to the tranquil sound of water and the serene scenery. Whether you're relaxing on your back porch or sipping coffee in the comfort of your own kitchen, you'll always have the tranquil view of the lake to enjoy. The property's 3 bedrooms are spacious, comfortable, and equipped with ample closet space, providing a peaceful retreat after a long day. The 2 updated bathrooms feature new countertops and sinks, making your morning routine a breeze. For those who love to entertain, this home provides ample outdoor space, including a back porch and plenty of room for outdoor living. The 2-car garage offers ample storage and off-street parking, making it easy for guests to park when visiting. Port Charlotte is a vibrant community, rich with amenities and opportunities for outdoor recreation. Whether you're a fan of fishing, boating, golfing, or just soaking up the sun, you'll find it all here. With its warm weather and stunning beaches, Port Charlotte is the perfect place to call home. In conclusion, this stunning single-level property is a rare gem, offering the best of Florida living. With its bright and spacious interior, stunning lake view, and ample outdoor space, this home is a must-see. So don't wait. Call us today to schedule a showing and discover the true meaning of Florida living. That would take me a couple of days to write.
Sleek quartz countertops.
Yes.
I mean, right. So, okay. So you have to fact check it, right?
Yep.
This home does have a porch. We didn't tell it.
Right.
Okay. But it does. It's got a lanai at the back.
Sure.
It does face the lake. It's so weird. It gives me a buzzy feeling. It's like
it's like it's looking in your head at the pictures that you see, right?
How do you know this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's so well written and it reads so well, and it's gonna help the value of a home.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you now, buyer remorse, right? Very serious and real thing. Someone puts in an offer, gets it accepted. All they've got is photographs and the description for the next couple of weeks while they're going through the processes of inspection or what have you.
Right.
When you can read that, I feel what that home is like to live in.
Right.
And I can't write at that level.
No.
Right.
No.
So this is more advanced than my writing level. I would be, you know, when you see nearly every description out there, it's 2-car garage, 2 CG, SS apps, quad tops. You know, it's just so functional is the writing. This has just got so much poetry to it that it makes you feel that this is a beautiful airy home, lots of space. It's got nice features. It's got the vinyl. It's got the the upgrades. It talks about the lake view, but not just the view, how you hear it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Well, and that's what your description really needs to be. It needs to either provide a visualization of the property or an experience of being in that property, or in this case, both.
Yeah, because water is very relaxing.
Yeah,
it really is. The sound of water, the birds and the wind blowing across it, and it kind of laps up onto your ear if you're lot. I to be honest with you, this is my house, right?
That's funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the reason I did that is because I know the property. Having read that, I question whether I want to sell it. It's like
you told me this the other day as we were preparing. So from an agent standpoint, though, you just scared everybody, because now all the sellers are going to want to take their houses off the market.
They're like, oh, I really like it. Right. But you got a compelling reason to sell. You got one. But I just think that this is such a time saver. It's 1,500 words. It fits just great onto the MLS. Obviously, we've got to think about the number of words that you can get in.
Sure.
Each MLS is different,
right.
the way it programs up. But with simple instruction, the style of writing. Now, we're not going to do it right now, but we could redo this and write it in a different style. We could say write it from the perspective of a buyer, or write it from different tourist information. I could use bullet points, say list 5 top reasons to move to Port Charlotte, which we're going to cover that, aren't we? We're going to do that.
We're going to talk about the restaurants. We're going to hit that.
And activities and all the other stuff.
But the thing about the bullet points, that's a great way to get the text that you need for your flyers for the property. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And Facebook posts.
So what you said earlier, because I felt like it was taking some liberty here about the back porch, but I would rather have to edit things out, just a couple things here and there, or like you said, you need to make sure that the information is accurate. But I'd rather have to just change a couple of things than try to write all that on my own.
Do most Florida homes that don't have a pool, because we haven't mentioned a pool,
right?
So it didn't insert a pool.
Nope.
Right. Probably I think a lot of Florida homes do have lanais or porches.
Yeah, they have lanais, or even our older homes have Florida rooms that I would consider to be the same type of deal.
So I mean, whatever we call it is one thing. But what I'd like to do right now, just real quick, is just put rewrite and include bullet point list of the top 5 reasons to live in Port Charlotte. This really got me.
Off we go.
So we'll give that a minute just to spin it out.
Yeah.
but I live here. I live in Port Charlotte. Obviously, I work on the East Coast and I look after the offices there. I've lived in just north of Port St. Lucie. I've lived in Melbourne for quite a long time. And I really find it hard, right, to think what are the reasons for living here, because you forget that our perspective I've lived in Florida now for, I think, about 17 years, I think, since I came here. I think it crashed on us. Yeah, it's probably because we're a busy time.
Yeah, it is a busy time. That's all right. Let's I'm gonna regenerate. I have gotten that to work right away before.
See if it will. So what it was going to do is it basically would add in 5 different features of Florida, but we forget about what is Florida in terms of its, its draw on people from around the country. The beautiful weather, the beaches. We keep forgetting to put those in our descriptions. It's definitely an issue. Yeah, we probably got a glitch.
Yeah, it's so it is one of those things.
That's what we have to bear with.
You know what? Well, I don't know, but anyway, there are peak times, like with anything else. There's peak times that people are using this because it is the hottest thing right now across many different professions and business use cases and everything.
Yeah. So what I do is go back to new chat.
Yep. So grab a new chat.
Then go back to the chat we were on. Is it on the list on the left?
Yeah. And one thing I want to just mention is that when you do have it write a specific like amount of words, like we just did, 1,500.
Yeah.
If you want it to write another post that's going to be specific amount at a high quantity, then you always need to do a new chat, because I have found that it feels like it runs out of room and I get 650 instead of 1,200.
It's the tokens. I think there's 2,400 words that it can write in one session for free. Remember, this is free.
Yeah.
They've given
for now.
There's an $18 credit being given to everybody for using the ChatGPT API. They're definitely going to monetize this. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
And I don't think it'll be with advertising, because how, right? Do you want to see a stupid ad in between every time?
Sure.
So I think it'll end up being a subscription. But for the moment, it's free because we're giving them feedback. We're saying we like this copy, it's accurate, it's inaccurate. So the purpose of this test is to allow the public to educate the system and allow them refine it.
Honestly, if it was advertising though, and it was just ad banners like at the top, I'd be okay with that.
I'd be okay with banners.
Yeah.
So are we gonna? What's the next thing we're gonna move on to?
Let me point that out. So over here, as we said earlier in the show today, that everything that all the requests that you make are actually being stored over here for you in the left-hand margin. The other thing I want to talk about just real quick, because if you're getting in on this now, or you've gotten in and on it over the last couple of weeks, they are looking for feedback. And you need to provide feedback if you want to stay in, or they're going to start booting people out.
Yeah, it just logs you out.
Yep. Okay. So you want me to click on what we just did?
I think we could probably move on to the blog post.
Okay.
Which is about, the restaurants and
exactly. So let me come back here, and we're going to jump back in. And let's see. So
we're going to
write that
scripts.
Yeah, we're going to write that YouTube script. So
let's do that. Okay, so let's give it another go.
Yeah.
We did do this podcast recording at the in the early afternoon because it is a better time to go on here, but it's just getting so popular. But as I was saying, there are other ways to get to ChatGPT. We're going direct to the source through OpenAI, but there are people who've got APIs programmed up now, and there's similar tools like Jasper.ai, and there's others out there that you can research that provide this tool, but through a different platform, and they're paying for access to OpenAI to provide those tools. So the connection seems to be more reliable. We're doing it the absolute, cheapest possible, which is going directly into it. So we're bound to have one or two issues, but we will persevere because that's what we do.
Yeah, and I'm just retyping the command in here, hoping for the best. So I'm putting in that same description. And I'm intentionally doing it not quite. So I'm not using the prompt engineering that Peter did, which is great because we got exactly what we were looking for. So what I want to show you is how I think a lot of agents are going to use it, because we tend to just let me put something in real quick and see what I get. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2-bedroom, 3-car garage on a saltwater canal in Florida. Punna.
Gorda.
Locals say punna.
Do they?
Yep. All the locals call it punna. The only
I've noticed people saying punta.
Punta is
It's not
either
right, is it?
Spanish. Well, it is a Spanish word. It means fat point. That's what it means.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep. So Gorda is the fat part. Punta is the point. And it's because it got its
Was it wearing a check shirt that day?
It got its name from the Spanish not Crusaders. What's the word I'm looking for? But anyway, like when
Raiders, the
Spanish
pirates.
Explorers. Thank you. The Spanish Explorers,
pirates,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, they were pirates. But from the Spanish Explorers, when they saw it in Charlotte Harbor, it sticks out like a big giant fat point.
The big fat
That's
point.
where and that Fat Point Brewery is an awesome microbrewery in Punta Gorda, and it's the English translation of Punta Gorda.
Right, there you go.
There's your history lesson for the day. That's right. Okay, so we're just gonna hit enter and see what we get from that.
I thought punta would mean port.
Nope.
Like Port Gorda.
Now you speak to the Spanish people. If you speak to
who are you calling punta?
It's people who speak Spanish. There is another slang meaning of that word, and that is not what we meant. We were talking about the city in Florida. And so all of our Spanish friends in our South Florida region are probably sitting here laughing their butts off at us.
Have you seen how not hard we're working to do this?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So, I mean, we're sitting here talking. We're talking about a language we don't even understand.
Yeah.
And it's already done.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see what that looks like. I requested write a YouTube script for an open house on February 5th, 2023 of a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 3-car garage on a saltwater canal in Punta Gorda, Florida. Forgot to say home, but let's see how it did. Announcer. So that's going to be you, right? Doing your voiceover typically as the agent. But you'll also see that it gave me my intro music and opening shot of the exterior of the house. So it's giving me my shot list. Announcer. Welcome to this stunning 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 3-car garage home on a saltwater canal in Punta Gorda, Florida. Join us for an open house on February 5th, 2023, and get a chance to tour this beautiful property in person. Now it's giving me another shot list. Cut to interior shots of the living room and kitchen area. As you enter the home, you'll be greeted by a spacious and bright living room, perfect for entertaining guests or simply relaxing after a long day. The open concept design continues into the fully equipped kitchen, complete with granite countertops and stainless steel appliances. Now I get another direction. Cut to shots of the bedrooms and bathrooms. This home features 3 spacious bedrooms, each with ample closet space and 2 fully updated bathrooms. The master suite includes a large walk-in closet and a luxurious ensuite bathroom. Cut to shots of the outdoor area and garage. So if I'm an agent who has absolutely no idea how to put one of these videos together, but I want to save money, I know video is important. You've heard it from us. Video is absolutely important. You should be totally embracing video in your real estate career in 2023. But if I don't have that experience, ChatGPT is telling me how to put this video together. Mm-hmm. All right. And we are, let's see, where am I? Cut to shots of the outdoor area and garage. Step outside and enjoy the Florida sunshine on your very own saltwater canal. Whether you're fishing, kayaking, or just taking in the views, this outdoor space is truly one of a kind. And for the car enthusiast, you'll love the 3-car garage, providing ample storage and parking for all your vehicles. Outro music and final shot of the exterior of the house. Don't miss your chance to see this magnificent home in person. Mark your calendars for February 5th, 2023, and join us for an open house at, and then it brackets the address so you can put that in there in your speech. We can't wait to show you around. So awesome. It threw my call to action in, and I didn't even have to request it. Yeah. And it tends to do things like that. Now, one thing I was surprised with this iteration of it, when I put waterfront canal before, or said that the house was on a canal, it actually gave me a better idea of what to use for that first shot. And it was a drone, or it didn't get specific on the drone, but it said, show the canal view from this home, you know? So, but it's amazing what this thing does.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So the idea behind this is you print this out, go to the house,
get
your iPhone, We always recommend if you can use a tripod or some form of stability device, because the problem with video is it's got to be stable. Otherwise, the other person gets kind of seasick watching it. Yeah. So I think we've got, as we always have to hand in this powerhouse of technology.
Brett's always got gadgets and toys. So yeah, we're talking about something along the lines of this. And it doesn't. So in this case, the only reason, yes, a tripod, absolutely, if you're going to be motionless, but typically on an open house video, you might kind of be moving the camera around. You don't even need a fancy gimbal. A gimbal is preferred, and they're actually down to about 60, 70 bucks now for the DJI. I think it's the Osmo 5, I think is what it's called. But even just something handheld like this, and this is like a $20 or $25 selfie stick that also has a tripod as well.
On some of the higher end handsets now, the phone handset. What does that mean? Higher end phones.
Somebody just dated himself.
Handset. This is a handset, ladies and gentlemen. You place the top part to your ear, the bottom part goes to your mouth. Speak clearly, not for too long.
And push all of the buttons to dial your phone number.
So on your phone, your smartphone, handset, they have stability software that stabilizes the image on some of the videos. I don't know which ones. App? Well, I think it's just part of the.
Well, one of so
iPhone 14,
the iPhone 14, and I believe the new Google Pixel phone. I saw advertising that too. But yeah, it's definitely on the 14, which is awesome.
Stops the wobbly stuff.
Yeah, so, and that's something that we talked about on the last episode too. When you're getting into video, you don't have to go out and buy fancy mirrorless and DSLR cameras. Your phone you have with you all the time, and they just keep getting better and better and better. That's all you need to get started. Upgrade your audio first thing, but that can be done for as little as like $25 to $50. But anyway,
what about editing? Is there some like low cost or free software that you can just simply, because what I was thinking was is do the filming, you know, and in your mind read out what you're going to say, and then maybe do a voiceover.
Yeah, absolutely. You could even, so what I would envision is I actually kind of talk my way through it as I'm filming the video, but don't use that audio. Come back and you don't even have to have a fancy mic like we have here. The one over there, the Samson Q2U, right now, $55, right, buddy?
It's awesome.
Yeah,
an absolutely awesome mic.
So
clear.
This one right here is fantastic for upgrading your Zoom calls and podcasting if you wanted to get into that, but certainly for your voiceovers, for your videos. High value product, $55, got everything that you need. It's USB and XLR. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. USB will work for you.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the best thing to do. And then there are some low cost and free software. DaVinci Resolve is 100% free that I'm aware of. And it might be pretty advanced to use. I personally haven't used it. I've used Adobe Premiere. And what else have I used?
So
I've used some fancy ones that are really, the learning curve is crazy. So I like Filmora.
Yeah.
Wondershare Filmora. A couple of years ago, I paid $70 for a lifetime license.
Yeah.
Right. You don't need a lifetime lesson for that software. You do for Premiere Pro. But I paid like $70 for a lifetime license. And it's phenomenal. It's super easy to use. It's got all of the stuff that takes like 10 to 20 steps to do in Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro. It's like 2 mouse clicks.
Right. Makes it like pre-programmed. Yep. The other option, which is the way I do most things, is use the apps on the phone. So Adobe has a Premiere PR, the Adobe PR app, which is like a light cut down version that is simple to use. You stitch together your clips, you can cut bits out, you can then stick your audio over the top of it, and then save it as a MP4.
Yep, MP4 is what you want to save it as.
Upload it into Facebook, social media, and YouTube.
The other thing that comes to mind, and I haven't tackled this as much, but if you're a high-level Canva user, Canva is actually a video editor too.
Really?
I just haven't dived into that as much yet. But yeah, if you're already using Canva, that's there. You can find all kinds of videos on YouTube. I'll be doing some videos on it as I learn. So
cool. Yeah. So let's do the next one.
This is the restaurants.
This one impresses me the most because the ChatGPT's local knowledge of what's in a location is just freaky. It's really weird. I mean, I did this for Punta Gorda, and there was restaurants recommended. I hadn't even heard of them.
Yeah.
And I was down there because we've got the kitchen remodel going. We can't cook. We've got no water. We've got no drains in the sinks.
Yeah.
So we went down to downtown Punta Gorda, and where the clock is, there's like a clock and parking area.
Yeah, you've got River City there and Italia. Italia is good.
Yeah, is it? And there was Hemingway's, is it? Is that
Hemingway's.
Is that a bar or restaurant?
No, it's a restaurant too. They have really good food. My wife and I actually just went there not too long ago. Used to be called the Blue Turtle. Now it's Hemingway's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what
those
a
are
nice
all awesome
spot.
restaurants.
The whole area is really nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
So it's funny because that's exactly one of the ones that I had used in researching this. So we're going to request a new chat. And now, Peter, as I'm typing this out, what we're going to do is we're going to request to write a blog post of the 5 best restaurants in Punta Gorda. And then do you kind of want to let our audience know like what we would use that for as real estate agents?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So blogging, right? And Facebook posts, social media posts. You want to stay top of mind with your audience. And the best way of staying top of mind with any audience is to educate them. So as this did with me, I live in Port Charlotte, but don't often go over the bridge to Punta Gorda, so I don't know it very well. And in doing this exercise that we're going to do right now, which is writing about basically a recommended restaurant guide for a location, you can educate your audience about the benefits of living in your local community. So it could be Vero Beach, Port St. Lucie, further down the Treasure Coast, Jupiter to Cuesta. You can actually have this, write an article about your local area. We're doing it over here on the West Coast because that's where we live. And obviously it helps educate whoever's listening to this about Punta Gorda as well, which is a fabulous place, I have to say. It really is. Yeah.
So I created a video about this just last week. And the reason I think doing restaurants is so important to create a blog post for. Now that blog post is something that we can have an ongoing blog on our KW Command consumer website.
Yeah.
Right.
So the search engine optimization power of a blog is beyond belief.
Yeah.
Now, there's a big debate going on. Can you use AI content for SEO, or will Google penalize you for using AI? So here's the deal. We're not trying to knock off Zillow from the #1 position on Google or Realtor.com or anybody else. So what we're trying to do is have hyperlocal search terms, which will pick up just fine on your KW site as a blog. So you create a page and you might have restaurant guide as a page, local amenities, sports facilities, parks, recreation, whatever it may be that you want to write about. Instead of having to, I mean, I couldn't even being new to the area, 2 years, it is still new. I couldn't write one.
No,
I couldn't. I don't know it well enough. I mean, the pandemic was on when I came. Nothing, everything was shut.
Well, everything was closed. Yeah, you didn't even have restaurants to go to.
Yeah, the hurricane came and everything was shut. So it's been like I didn't get a chance to learn the area yet. But as a real estate agent in this area, I have to be knowledgeable. Well, this gives me knowledge, gives me power.
Yeah. So, and the reason I think it's a good idea for real estate agents, maybe for one of those first blog posts to be about restaurants, is because there's 2 things that the general public is searching for, whether they're visiting an area or thinking about buying in an area because they need to come visit it first: hotels and restaurants.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, everybody has to sleep and everybody has to eat.
That's right.
So,
okay. So all I did, real simple, write a blog post about the 5 best restaurants in Punta Gorda, Florida.
And
as it spits it out,
tentatively hold our breath, hoping it works.
Absolutely.
Which it is.
Punta Gorda, Florida is a charming city that is known for its stunning views of the Gulf of Mexico, vibrant art scene, and delicious food. With so many great restaurants to choose from, it can be hard to know where to start. In this post, we've rounded up the 5 best restaurants in Punta Gorda, Florida that are guaranteed to tantalize your taste buds.
How good's that?
Number 1, Little Jimmy's Italian Restaurant. If you're in the mood for classic Italian cuisine, look no further than Little Jimmy's Italian Restaurant. This family-owned and operated eatery serves up delicious pasta dishes, fresh salads, and mouth-watering brick oven pizzas. Number 2, Fisherman's Village Restaurant. For a more casual dining experience, head to Fisherman's Village Restaurant, located in the heart of Fisherman's Village. This restaurant offers a menu that features fresh seafood and other coastal delights, as well as a selection of beers and wines. Fat Cat Tavern if you're in the mood for something a little different, and it goes on and on. So I will read the last one because it's actually one of my favorites.
I'm on a diet, by the way.
Sorry, buddy.
You know,
I am too.
Stone pizza oven.
That's right. The Perfect Caper is one of the finest restaurants there. We love that. So number 5, the Perfect Caper. I would actually say this is number 1. So this must be ranked number 1.
I don't think it's ranking them. I don't think it's ranking them.
No, it's just kind of a random list, right? So the Perfect Caper, last but not least, the Perfect Caper is a must visit for those in search of delicious farm-to-table cuisine. This restaurant sources its ingredients from local farms and fishermen and serves up a menu that features seasonal dishes and daily specials, along with a selection of craft beers. And I know that to be true because Jeannie Rowland, who is the head chef, Jeannie Rowland is the head chef and owner, and she actually beat Bobby Flay. Did you know that?
Right,
she was on Beat Bobby Flay and she won. But that's one of the things they're known for is she sources local ingredients. So now here's how does it know?
Yeah.
I really think it's just in a matter of milliseconds, it's searching the entire internet for all this information, right?
Here's the thing. It's not connected to the internet.
No.
So what they did was they took all the text from every web page that's ever been written, condensed it into terabytes of files, and then created the large language model with all of that information. Then they took a series of books. I don't know which books, but a large volume of books, digitized those and uploaded it. But what amazes me, this system is only capable of predicting the next word.
Yeah.
Now, from that, it knows that the Perfect Caper in a tiny little town on the southwest coast of Florida has craft beers and uses, locally sourced. It's phenomenal, and the quality of that blog is as good as a professional writer who's been to college, who's learned journalism. And you could say write 3,000 words, right? More.
Well, and you're an agent too. Nobody's going to be judging you on your English skills. They just want content that's going to attract them, right? And make you look like the local expert of the area that you work in. That's the key.
So what's the last part saying? Conclusion?
In conclusion, these 5 restaurants are the best of the best in Punta Gorda, Florida, and are sure to leave you with a memorable dining experience. Whether you're in the mood for Italian, seafood, burgers, steaks, or farm-to-table cuisine, there's something for everyone in Punta Gorda. So the next time you're in town, be sure to check out one or all of these great restaurants. Now, here's what I want to do.
I would say write it from the perspective of a real estate agent.
Well, so that would be a good idea. But when I was working on this before, I wanted it to expand on one of the restaurants. Which it will.
Yep.
And what really blew my mind is it made menu recommendations.
All right, let's expand on number 5 then.
Yes, that's exactly. Our minds are in the same
By the way, you do realize that dinner time's coming up. So... My wife may be just stuck at home today.
All right, so I'm just going to type in expand on number 5, hit enter.
Let's see what it comes up with. Hopefully works. Sometimes I feel that if you leave it too long before carrying on, it glitches.
So here we go. The Perfect Caper is a must-visit restaurant for those who appreciate fresh farm-to-table cuisine. The restaurant is committed to using locally sourced ingredients and works closely with local farmers and fishermen to bring the best of the area's produce and seafood to your plate. The menu is seasonal and changes regularly, ensuring that each dish is made with the freshest ingredients available. One of the standout dishes, here's where we get into the recommendations. One of the standout dishes at the Perfect Caper is their daily specials, which are always made with the freshest ingredients and showcase the best of what's in season, whether it's a perfectly seared piece of fish, a juicy and flavorful cut of steak, or a fresh and flavorful salad. You can be sure that the daily specials are always top-notch. In addition to the food, the atmosphere at the Perfect Caper is also a draw. The restaurant is designed with a warm, welcoming ambiance with cozy lighting and a friendly staff. Whether you're dining alone, with friends, or with family, you're sure to feel at home at the Perfect Caper. For those who enjoy a good drink with their meal, the Perfect Caper offers a selection of craft beers and wines to accompany your meal. These drinks are carefully selected to complement the flavors of the food and are sure to enhance your dining experience. Overall, the Perfect Caper is a standout restaurant in Punta Gorda and is a must-visit for anyone who appreciates fresh, locally sourced cuisine. So the next time you're in the area, be sure to make a reservation at the Perfect Caper and experience the best of Punta Gorda's food scene.
Okay, so do they take reservations? Does it know that?
It does through Open Table.
It does. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So what's cool about that is I could create, just by asking it to elaborate on each number, I could create multiple blog posts without ever having to think it all up for myself.
Yeah. I mean, well, the thing is, you could, so to bring this back into the real estate world, we want to communicate. So we've got a database.
Yep.
And we're sending them market reports, requests about, are you thinking of moving? You know, are you still thinking of moving? You found a house,
right.
yeah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Why not say, hey, have you tried
the perfect caper? Yeah.
Just recommendation of the week.
Yeah.
Then
so I'm sorting through custom tags in my command database. I'm looking for everybody who's currently looking in Punta Gorda, and I create a quick smart plan that sends out this message about the perfect caper, the 5 best restaurants.
Yeah, because Brett recommended it, right? So then they're going to remember, they're going to have a good experience. Then 6 months later, they might want to go back then.
Yeah.
The thing as well is it really enhances the value of the local properties, because if you live on this side of the bridge, you're only 4 minutes from Punta Gorda.
We go to Punta Gorda all the time.
We do it all the time because there's a dual highway across the big huge bridge there.
Yeah.
So I think that this is a really valuable way to educate your database, but also to stay top of mind and something that they're very interested in. Now, I'm hungry now. I mean, I've got to be honest.
My mouth's watering. I want to go to the perfect caper tonight. So one more real quick, because I think this is the one that is totally real estate focused, and that is, we're going to request a new chat, and I'm going to request, write a 1,500 word article on the advantages of staging a home for sale. All I need, right?
Yeah, I mean, so you can put in the style, like make it compelling, include a call to action.
Could I say something along the lines of write it in the style of a real estate magazine?
Well, yeah, let's try it. Yeah. I mean, this is also new. It only came out in November, right? So everyone is learning. There's nobody. If anyone says they're a master of prompt engineering with ChatGPT, well, they're not, because there's so much depth to this. It's literally all world knowledge that's ever existed is in here, but I didn't realize how hyper local it's gotten. Understands.
Yeah. So what I love about it, it actually gave the article a title too. Right. I didn't pick up on that before when I've requested these, but it's actually giving it a title. So
for a quick,
staging your home for a quick and profitable sale. When it comes to selling your home, first impressions are everything. In a competitive market, a well-staged home can give you the edge you need to stand out and sell quickly for top dollar. In this article, we'll explore the many advantages of staging your home for sale and provide tips for getting started. Increased interest from buyers. Okay, so I'm not going to read all of this, but basically it's giving me a bulleted point, increased interest from buyers, and then it's giving me a couple paragraphs of that.
Yeah.
Faster sales, and a paragraph for that. Higher sale prices, and a paragraph for that. Attractive photos.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It really is. And again, this is something that you could put into your listing presentation as a leave at the home flyer, or leave with the potential seller. Well, hopefully we sign them up, right?
Yeah.
But we're going to tell them what we're going to be doing for them and why. But there's so many variations of this. If we could ask it about how to advertise a property. I mean, you can that's the other thing. We're asking it to write articles. You can ask it questions. Yeah. What's the best way to market a home to get the top price? You put that in there, it'll tell you.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So I think we're probably heading towards wrapping up.
Yes.
Time.
Yep. Absolutely.
I think we want to recap what we've done.
I mean, it's amazing what this does. So, here's something you can do. Are you looking to put value? One of the a popular feedback we get on our KW consumer websites is that it's boring, doesn't have enough on it, Well, I could build a page through command of seller tips, buyer tips, and it just wrote the staging article for me. That's one of those seller tips, right? So lots of uses, practical applications for your real estate business, and can totally be integrated into command with your websites and all of that. Smart plans too, like we mentioned.
Cool. So we covered property descriptions, video script walkthroughs for an open house video, blog posts, which we've covered about the restaurants, and it can be anything, areas.
Yeah.
And then home staging. So that's 4 very key components of a realtor's life that they have to sit at home and spend hours and days trying to find the next word.
Right.
And the other thing is, tell you what's very hard. When you're writing a property description, they all end up very same-ish.
Yes.
Because our own ability is kind of like, this desirable and beautiful.
Well, you know what happens, honestly, Peter, is we want to write those agents that want to write a high quality description, unless they're just completely gifted, right?
There are people.
There are. They're looking at other descriptions and trying to draw inspiration from those. And you can't help but for it to sound somewhat similar, right?
Yeah.
Now, here's an interesting thing, and we'll get into this in future episodes. I have run the information, copied and pasted it into plagiarism checkers that are available online. And so far, everything I've gotten out of ChatGPT has been 100% authentic.
Yeah, because but it is
unbelievable.
It's never been written before. It does not take text and copy it and insert it. What it does is it's looked at the whole of the internet and every human thought that's ever been portrayed in there, plus books like the Encyclopedia Britannica. I bet that's in there. All of those.
Which, disclaimer, only up until 2021 right now.
But that'll change.
Yeah.
So there we go. I am beyond impressed with the capabilities of saving time and being more professional and more effective at what we do by using ChatGPT. I think every agent should do it. It's free. It's free.
And I think our audience would certainly vouch for what I'm about to say. And that is that you can tell that Peter is genuinely passionate and excited about this.
Yeah.
Because you stole the show today, buddy. That was awesome.
Oh,
I loved it earlier when you were just going on and on. Like, I'm just sitting here absorbing the information because you've actually been messing around in it more than I have, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I think I think that everything's going to change this year because Google have got their AI and they've called back their leadership from whoever started Google. Microsoft looking at incorporating ChatGPT because they put a 10 billion investment into OpenAI.
Right.
They want to incorporate it into something called Bing.
No, I don't know it yet.
Yeah. Anyway, so they're gonna have a search engine apparently. So Google are doing it. There's DeepMind, which is owned by Google. There's so many massive, very, very, very intelligent people working on this project right now to revolutionize the way that we use machines. I think this year is very exciting. I really do.
I've literally been hearing at least 3 to 4 times a week, if not every day, the segments on all the major national news networks on ChatGPT.
It's everywhere. I mean, on my YouTube suggestions, it's ChatGPT. What's next? A lot of it's predictions. I don't like those videos because there's just people making stuff up. But the actual Sam Altman, who is behind, he's behind OpenAI.
Okay.
He was Y Combinator investor. He such an intelligent person, really is. But he put together all the seed money for these different, companies and organizations. And once they got the seed money in play, they then got real, venture capital involved. Then now they've got Microsoft sticking huge amounts of money in there. There's other companies out there like IBM that had Watson. They kind of let Watson drift away. They'll come back to the table now that this is doing what it's doing. But the people who wrote this, and then we haven't even discussed this. This is text. The other was we should do a podcast episode on it. Is the graphics.
So that's the interesting part. I almost talked about this earlier when we were talking about when I made a comment about our new tech team that's in place. It's been a couple of years, but great tech team in place running the tech division of Keller Williams. However, before that leadership was in place, we were talking about these things. And even as a really techie person, it seems so far off to me. And now I'm like, wow. So now we'll be able to show an image, just upload an image and it'll spit out the perfect description for you, right?
I tried to do it. So I went on to Stable Diffusion, which is Stability AIs. They're a British startup, massive investment. But they're the people behind Lensa, which is making multi-millions a day now with people creating an image of themselves to look like a Viking or something, whatever they're creating. It's always something simple, right? That makes money. Anyway, so Stable Diffusion brought out, Stability AI brought out Stable Diffusion, and that is where you describe an image, and it will, from all the images that mankind's ever made,
Mhm.
it will build a new image. It will create artwork. So I asked it to make a Keller Williams logo.
Really?
It was appalling.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was like a blob with a cave falling over.
Oh
And
no.
so it's not there yet,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you know, artists are not going anywhere. Musicians are not going anywhere.
Yeah.
All this is doing is kind of leveling up. And I think the power of the English language and people's capability to write, this is leveling up. That's,
Really what I see, I don't see this, at least not yet, taking over any creative platforms, anything that really has to do with creativity. It's really getting rid of the mundane and monotonous.
Yeah, it's taking out the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
So what I'm hoping is we'll be able to go on a cell phone and say, oh yeah, respond to that email in a professional manner.
Yeah.
Explain why I can't make it tomorrow and ask them to do another time. Thanks.
Yeah. Refer to my calendar and tell them why I can't make it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. That would be
good.
awesome. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. We, as you can tell, especially with Peter, but myself as well, we are very excited about what ChatGPT actually offers the real estate community, offers real estate agents to save both time and money. We had fun today. If you're getting value out of our podcast, please hit the like button on the video.
Subscribe.
We're gonna edit that part out. Consider subscribing if you're not already, and ding that notification bell so you can be reminded of future episodes. And we out.
Yep, we'll see you next week.
We're out. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.